Alrighty, welcome back to another video. And before we get started, if you like people that make either good decisions or poor decisions when selling options, and you want to follow along and see how that person does, that person's me, so please consider subscribing. That way you don't miss any videos in the future. And we're getting closer and closer to 1,000 subs, which is my current goal, and I really do appreciate it. In this video, we're going to talk about one particular topic, and that is a put that I sold, which is the riskiest put that I've sold in my life, and I probably will never do so again. And like I mentioned earlier, I document me doing well sometimes. You know, everyone has their own definition of doing well. But I also want to document some of the failures. And this is definitely, I don't know if I'm going to call it a failure yet, but it's not looking too great. And a couple days ago, I made a video on how you can sell puts on Apple stock to buy a MacBook Air, or a new MacBook, I guess. For me, it was a MacBook Air. But regardless, the moral of the story was I give you 3 different examples and 3 different stocks of selling puts and how you could use that premium to buy a new MacBook. And I took the riskiest of all of those scenarios. And I went ahead and sold a put on a double leveraged MicroStrategy ETF. And if we look at my spreadsheet that I use to keep track of all of the premium that I get from selling different options, this particular line right here, 213, this MSTX, which is the ticker symbol of that ETF, got me $901 in premium at a $95 strike in 1 week. And you might look at that and you might say, this is insane to get that kind of premium for 1 week, putting up $9,500 in collateral. And you'd be right by saying it's insane. And this is really just gambling at this point. And that's what I did. I gambled. I got $901 worth of premium, and I paid the price. I said this was risky. I knew what I was getting into, I guess. But reality has struck. And you might notice a few lines down, we have another entry for MSTX, and I wasn't assigned this one. And if you guess correctly, yes, I did end up rolling the put to next week for a lower strike price of $85 and getting $140 extra in premium. So I loosened up $1,000 in collateral because it went from 95 to 85 for the strike price. And I also got 140 extra dollars in premium for rolling this. However, this is such a volatile stock, it might not even matter. And if we look at this put that I sold, it has gone up $905 today alone, which is the opposite of what you want to do when you sell puts. You don't want the value of that put to go up. In fact, you want it to go down because you want something that you sold to go down in value if you want to buy that back. And that's because MicroStrategy was down and this double leveraged ETF was down 26% on the day. And my original strike price was 95, and you can see now it is 83. And yes, we do have 2 more trading days. I don't think it's a full day Friday. I think trading closes at 1. So we have like 1.5 more trading days. And this could go back up to 95 and I could be fine and it expires worthless, or I could buy to close it, at least get some of my money back, if any. But instead I decided to take the other route, which was just rolling that option. If we look at the options for MSTX and I go to sell a put, you can see how crazy these premiums are. And that's just because of how volatile this underlying stock is. If we look at just this week, expiring this Friday, I can sell a $70 put and get $250 in premium. And mind you, one of these 3 days, the market is closed on Thanksgiving. And if we go down to 10 days out, so next Friday, and I were to sell a $70 strike put, I get $800 in premium. So I guess the moral of the story here is, and if you're going to learn anything from me, if I'm going to learn anything from myself, is don't chase premium, no matter how tempting it is. I do like the asset of Bitcoin, and therefore I think MicroStrategy is a decent proxy for that. But to go on a double leveraged ETF of MicroStrategy is kind of asinine. And looking back, I'm like, what were you thinking? Maybe I was just doing it as spur of the moment, but that's not really something I want to do in the future. But really, we're just going to roll this out, and I'll keep you guys posted on what ends up happening, obviously. But we're just going to keep rolling this out and see if I can recover from this trade. At least that's the potential hope. So guys, I said this before, but if you're looking to sell puts or sell calls or just sell options entirely, use a small portion of your entire portfolio, the rest of it in index funds, and then do it on stocks that you want to own. Is MSTX a stock that I'd be okay with owning shares? Maybe, but it's not like SoFi or one of these other companies I sell puts on that I'd actually be okay with acquiring those shares. So I broke a big rule and I'm kind of paying the price. But we'll see if I can recover from it. I'll keep you guys posted, and I hope to see you guys in a future video.